Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar and welcome to part 3 of the walking bass series. In today's bass guitar lesson, I'm going to show you how to create a funk feel using all of the fantastic ideas that you learn from walking bass. If that sounds good, check this lesson out all the way to the end. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar and welcome to part 3 of the walking bass series. In part 1, we talked about the 3 core concepts or methods that I use to create walking bass lines, and I took you through those and showed you how to use them in context. In the second part, we dug deep in how to create bass lines from scales, because that can be quite tricky in certain places. But today I want to dig into one of my favorite things ever, and that is creating other feels, particularly the funk feel from jazz tunes, and how to use the language we learn in walking bass to create great bass lines. So don't forget, there is a completely free PDF that comes with this lesson. Just click the link in the description below and it will show you examples of absolutely everything that I'm playing in this lesson. So one of the amazing things about learning walking bass is it equips you to tackle just about every style on the bass guitar, because you have a super good knowledge of harmony and you end up with a great knowledge of the fingerboard. But one of the things that happens so often is that you can start turning jazz tunes into different styles, and this is very common. If you go on a jazz gig, for instance, the chances are they will say, let's play this particular song and we'll do it in this particular style. So that could be a swing tune, it could turn into a bossa nova or a Latin or a samba or a funk, for instance. So what I want to do is show you how to take the great jazz tune Now's the Time, which is based on a jazz 12-bar blues, and turn it into a funk feel. First of all, let's demonstrate what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if someone asks you to play a funk feel, here is the basic pattern that I would start off with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. And funk music is all about those 16th notes. You often hear them on the drummer's hi-hat where they're going. So that is putting 4 notes per beat. And so what I would do to create our kind of 101 bass line for funk is to go 1, 2, and 3, 4. And we are catching the first beat of the bar, and then on this last 16th note, so the 4th 16th note of the second beat, we are catching a note going 1, 2, ba-dum, and then hitting the 3rd beat of the bar. You can split the notes in using the system of going 1 E and to denote which 16th of the note of the bar that you are catching. So in this case, we're going to catch the 2 E and so 2 A of the bar. So 1, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, like this. Dum, ba-dum. And this just needs to be a nice kind of lazy feel to it. Funk is generally quite a lazy kind of music, so just keep it super relaxed to begin with and it will help you play those faster notes too. So what I want to do is just demonstrate this with the track. Don't forget to download the free PDF which comes with this lesson, because it will show you this exercise and the chord sequence we're using, which is a jazz 12-bar blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you just play that really simple idea of ba-dum, you'll be laying down a great funk feel to begin with. But the chances are you're going to want to start adding in some extra notes to make it interesting. So the first place I would go before even touching walking bass is to look at the box shape, which is on the neck, or some people might call this the minor pentatonic shape. But anyway, I would look at it as just the F, and then catching the fifth on your fourth finger, the C, the E flat, and the F there. You can see it's called the box shape because it looks like a box on the neck. So what we're going to do is create a really simple addition to this bass line, which is just going to make it that little bit more funky. And we are going to catch the last 2/16 notes of the bar. So this is beat 4, E and the and of beat 4. And we're going to catch that with the E flat to the F, and I'm going to hammer them on. So we're going to do bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, 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 like that. Then we can put this across the chord sequence, and it would just give a little bit more propulsion forward. So bum, ba-dum, etc, etc, and that's what starts to make the funk feel more interesting. The interesting thing about the funk vibe is it can be really, really super complicated, or it can be very, very sparse. There's a lot of variation in it, but the critical thing is to get those 16ths feeling really, really good in the bar. So let's try it with the track so you can see what these little additions sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you have there is a great fundamental funk feel that you can start to experiment using that basic feel and the notes from the box shape that we discussed there. And that will work absolutely great. But the chances are you're going to want to put some more interesting notes and variation to it. And this is where walking bass comes directly into play, because walking bass is what creates the interest and fundamentally creates the fills. So what I want to do is give you a little strategy, a concept that you can use to create fills using the ideas that we discussed in the rest of this series. So if we zoom back, we talked about creating scalic bass lines using the scalic methods. We talked about the chord tone method, and we talked about the chromatic method. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this into a 2-bar chunk like so, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, and use the beats 3 and 4 of the second bar to actually create our fill in there. And we're just going to play 4/8 notes in there to create the fill, but we're going to use either the scalic idea, the chromatic idea, or the chord tone idea. So let me demonstrate here with the first 2 bars of F to B flat, and I'm going to use the scalic idea, and we're going to go F, we're going to use the whole and 2 halves, bum, like that, to create a fill to take us back to the F. So let me demonstrate out of context. So 1, 2, 3, 5, bum, ba-dum. Do you see how that is a nice little line which just pulls us straight back? I'm going to demonstrate another one here where I'm going to use chord tones to take us from the F to the B flat. So let me demonstrate here. So we're going to do bum, ba-bum. So what I did was got the F7 arpeggio, or the F7 chord tones, to take us from the F to the B flat chord. So like so. Don't forget, this is all written out in the PDF, so you can see these ideas written out, which is really, really important. So let me put those 2 concepts together so you can hear what they sound like. So bum, ba-dum, do-do, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Now, what I'm going to do now is use a chromatic idea to take us back to the previous chord. So we got to the B flat, so we're going to the B flat, to the E natural, to the F, and then E natural to the F to take us back down there. Check out the PDF, that will give you the exact notes in there. So those are the three concepts that you can try out and use these as your basic fills to link the chords together. So let me show you what that sounds like in context. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget, everything in this lesson is written out in the free PDF which comes with it. Just click the link in the description below and we'll send you out a copy. If you like these walking bass ideas and you want to discover how walking bass can be integrated into all of the other music that you play, how it will help you learn the language of pretty much every style because you really understand how chords and chord sequences are constructed and how it works on the neck, make sure you check out the Essential Walking Bass course, which is over at eBassGuitar.com, and also check out the Bass Lab Plus membership too. So to finish this lesson off, I want to show you one more concept which is inspired by the great Anthony Jackson. He does this thing that I call big fours, and this sounds super cool because it is the antithesis of the short funky feel. So with the short funk feel, you end up with this. But what Anthony Jackson often does, and you hear him do this in his lines, is he plays these big four concepts, which goes. And what you end up is the light and shade of the short notes to the long notes, and I love the sound of that. And where this works brilliantly in this sequence is on the turnaround, the last two bars of the Jazz 12-bar blues, where we go from the F to the D minor 7, to the G minor 7, to the C7. And what we can do is we can use chromatic approach notes to each of those chords, like and then go back to that short funky feel. And then hit it. Listen to the difference in those two sounds. They sound fantastic. So what I'm going to do to finish this lesson off is I'm going to play some of the concepts that we've discussed in this lesson, and then I'm going to break out a little bit. Listen out for the funk feel, and then listen out for the big fours where I really pull the length of the notes right out and play them to their full value, because I think that's such a great effect. 1, 2, 3, 4. guys, that is the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed creating that funk feel as much as I did. I love that style. So don't forget, there's a completely free PDF that comes with this lesson. Just click the link in the description below. Don't forget to check out the full Essential Walking Bass course over at eBassGuitar.com. And if you've enjoyed this lesson, please do give it a like and share on social. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com.